Most industries got over COVID ages ago, but that's not necessarily the case in the jewelry business because so much of their sales are driven by engagement rings. It takes time for couples through dating to decide to get married. Take Signet Jewelers, the parent of Kay, Jared, and Zales. Signet's seen its sales plummet this year thanks to a major lull in dating during the pandemic. It's now more than 3 years later, and it's still having an impact. But stay tuned. When Signet reported this morning, they posted a very healthy top and bottom line beat. And more important, management indicated that they're seeing signs the engagement recovery has begun. And that's why the stock soared today, hitting a new and deserved 52-week high. So could this be the start of a major multi-year move? Let's find out with Gina Drosos. She's the turnaround artist CEO of Signet Jewelers. Gina, welcome back to Mad Money.
Oh, thank you, Jim. Great to be here.
Well, I am so excited because what you are now saying is that a headwind could be switching to a tailwind for your most important business.
Exactly. Bridal jewelry, especially engagement rings, represent about 50% of our sales. This year, we predicted would be a trough. Engagements are off 25% versus a typical year. But the trough has happened, and we're now seeing signs that engagements are coming back. So that's good news for us.
Well, I've got to tell you, one thing is certain, that there would be another time before you got to this company that it would have been crushed during this period. But instead, you've been managing to lean into a lot of the different trends, and you can barely tell it's been hit, and now I think it's ready to soar.
Well, thank you. We've grown our fashion business quite considerably. We see engagements as a point of market entry into the category, and from that, we springboard into birthdays, anniversaries, bridal gifts, things like that. We now have a loyalty program that's 4 million people strong. We've been targeting over the last few months 14 million people who are in dating relationships. And we can tell, are they at the beginning of that relationship? Are they getting near the end? Are they getting close to engagement? And if they are, of course, we're there to help them.
Well, you made point of entry. How about the point of entry that is your website, where you have tremendous designers really making it so that people want to go to your stores via the website?
That's right. We know that now about 78% of people start their shopping journey for jewelry online. Our websites are unrivaled in our ability to help people search and browse, our ability to educate. We also have custom opportunities on our websites. Just recently, I heard a heartwarming story of a man who'd been deployed. He wanted to design an engagement ring, and he did it right there on our K site using our custom capability.
Well, I know you've got great scientists, but you have great data. And now one of the things your data tells you is that the beginning, when everyone has this Black Friday thing, that's part of your sales, and it tends to be for a little bit lower end. But you're actually heading into your best 3 weeks right now.
That's exactly right. So Black Friday, of course, matters. It's a big traffic driving holiday. Usually it ends the shopping season for women who are buying mostly lower priced jewelry for gifts or for themselves. This year they came out strong. So we saw that price points under $1,000 did very well for us across Kay, Zales, Banter, Peoples. That was great. We saw higher price points doing really well on Jared. And that's the beginning of the engagement recovery coming back. So we would expect to see both higher priced fashion jewelry as well as engagement rings during the month of December.
Okay, you've also broadened the appeal. Younger Gen Z consumers, tell me about them.
You know, it's interesting. We've been doing surveys among younger consumers, especially pre-engagement consumers, for years. We just got back our latest survey results. It turns out 80% of Gen Z and millennial customers who aren't married want to get engaged, and in fact that's up from a survey that we did 5 years ago. So engagement is alive and well. It's also shifting a bit. This is the first year that multicultural engagements will actually be bigger than white non-Hispanic engagements, and that's interesting too. I mean, that lends itself to trends like yellow gold jewelry. Of course, we have bilingual sales associates and signage in our stores. So I think we're well prepared for that new phenomenon as well.
Okay, I can't have you on without talking about where the company was when you came in. I'm just so proud of you. I mean, frankly, I thought the company was a goner. I told you that at lunch. I said, why are you taking this job? I mean, come on, this thing is just done. The turnaround has been pretty much on your time frame. And it started with the culture, didn't it?
I think it really did. We had a culture that was pretty top down. People didn't feel comfortable innovating at all levels of the organization. We've changed all that. We've been a great place to work company for the last 5 years, and I credit it to being a purpose-led company. You know, at Signet Jewelers, we get up every morning thinking, how can we inspire love in the world? That's what jewelry does, and I think especially at a time like this in our world, inspiring love is more important than ever.
Well, I understand that there are people who actually on vacation do business because they like working with you and are selling well.
That's true. In part, that's because of the digital tools that we've given our sales team now. We have over 5,000 sales associates who have a digital storefront. So they're actually marketing and selling right off of their own social media. It's fantastic what we can do now with digital tools.
Well, okay, so there are a couple other things that I'm trying to get a handle on that had to do with COVID. So you had this period where people were shut in, so they weren't meeting people. How do we really know that that's going to be necessarily go to fruition, so to speak? Are people still dating like they used to? I mean, give me some numbers. What does your data show?
Yeah, so we've identified 45 milestones that couples can go through between the moment when they meet. 45 trackable milestones. So not every couple does every single one, but these are typical
I don't think I did any.
So, for example, going on a trip together or moving in together would be late-stage milestones.
Okay.
In the past quarter, we have seen those two milestones surge in terms of how many people are crossing over into that period of time where they're ready to get engaged.
How do you have that data?
Well, we developed it through surveys that we did with customers and through working with partners like Google. That's another good example. Google searches for engagement rings are up 10% over the most recent period. It's the first time in 2 years that they've been up versus the previous year. So we've worked a lot with our partners, Meta, Google, et cetera. We have our own proprietary data. So we know a lot about dating couples, and so we feel quite confident that our predictions are right and that the engagement trough has happened and we have a 3-year tailwind behind us.
Well, a 3-year tailwind with an incredibly well-run company that has done so many things right since you've come aboard. I cannot say enough about your turn. It is just remarkable. Starts at the top, I understand, goes through the organization. That's Gina Drosos. She's the CEO of Signet Jewelers, one of my absolute favorites. And Mad Money is back after the break. Thank you.
Thanks.
Coming up, pop open those umbrellas and tee up your toughest questions. Cramer takes on all comers in the lightning round. Next.
Booyah, Jim. Your integrity makes you the booyah saint of Wall Street. Booyah, Jimmy Chill.
Booyah, Jimmy Chill.
Booyah, Jim.
Quadruple. That's a lot of booyahs.